Haruna again, not here. Rosalind M. Butalit, not around. And then the next group is Sulpecia El Ponce. I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong. Rosario Reserva. No, not here. How about this one? Fesami. Okay, Fesami here. Elvi, are you here? Okay, good. Farjana Kanu? Okay. Rairis Andriati? Not here. Riris Andriati? Not here. Dila Rahma? Your name is what, Riris? Oh, praying, okay. Nur Afni Sharia? Not here. Andriani Rahma? Okay, good. Fitriana Buyanis? Okay. Magendran? Okay. Swapnela Jacob? Tiomarlina Sitoras? Okay, good. Emilda? Hutri Prawira? Not here yet. Rim Muhammad? Okay.
A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. So let's welcome the session chairperson number 1, Dr. Farah Aida Jumuddin. She's a lecturer from School of Medicine, Lincoln University College. Dr. Farah holds a Doctor of Philosophy in Pharmacy degree. She's currently serving as a lecturer in Faculty of Medicine, Lincoln University College. She brings a wealth of experience from her tenure as a postdoctoral research officer and project manager at University Kebangsaan Malaysia. So ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Farah. We have here the second session chairperson, Dr. Neil Mandularam Martin, Associate Professor, Clinical Instructor and International Affairs Coordinator, College of Nursing, Mindanao State University of Philippines. So Dr. Neil is holding a position of Associate Professor, Hope V, and Clinical Instructor at the College of Nursing, Mindanao State University. Dr. Martin brings a diverse set of skills to his role. Dr. Martin's educational journey includes earning a PhD in education from Xavier University School of Education in Cagayan de Oro City, Philippines. He also obtained his Masters of Arts in Nursing from the University of Cebu in Cebu City, Philippines. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Neil. So Doctor, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Okay, we are going to call your name. The presentation will be 5 minutes, followed by 2 minutes Q&A. Can I please call the first presenter? Haruna, are you here? No. So we will start with Fesamni. Please, welcome. So with the topic of implication for quality care management, a comparative correlational study of nurses' attitudes, perceptions, and practices on patient safety culture in incident reporting.
Good afternoon, everyone. Someone once said most patient harm is not caused by what nurses do wrong, but what systems fail to hear. And this study's implication of quality care management, a comparative correlational study on nurses' attitude, perception, and patient safety culture in incident reporting. We know that incident reporting is a critical mechanism for improving patient safety and healthcare quality. It enables healthcare institutions to identify risks, prevent adverse events, and promote culture of safety. However, in the Philippines, various factors including organizational culture, professional attitude, and systemic constraints affect nurses' willingness and ability to report incidents. This study investigates the attitude, perceptions, and patient safety culture of nurses towards incident reporting in the Philippine hospital, focusing on differences between private and locally funded government healthcare institutions. So the objective of this study that we assess the nurses' perception of incident reporting, NPIR, and then we have nurses' attitude toward incident reporting, and then nurses' practices on patient safety culture. And then we compare their perception, attitude, and their practices on patient safety culture between private and local government hospital and determine their correlations. So the methodology of this study, this is a comparative correlational research design was used which involves 125 nurses from the local government unit hospital and then a private hospital in Iligan City. We selected the participants through proportional certified random sampling and utilizing modified questionnaire. We also use a descriptive and inferential statistics and use Cronbach for reliability test. And we have Shapiro-Welk and Levin test for normality and variance assumptions. And then we have Wilcoxon rank sum test and Spearman rank for correlation. The results of this study, we have found out that perceptions of nurses regarding incident reporting was high with a mean score of 4.19, indicating that nurses generally agree on the importance and effectiveness of incident reporting. The lowest in this category and perception is reflected only agreement about the adequate training received exposing variability in training experiences, which means that nurses only has the lowest when it comes to consistent education that they need. They still feel that they need training on adequacy on incident reporting. And then when it comes to the attitude, nurses maintained a positive attitude toward incident reporting with an overall mean score of 3.88. Items with the highest rating in this category is in these items, incident reports are effectively used to prevent future incidents, reflected as a very positive attitude. Conversely, however, negative stated items like the fear of being the talk of the hospital and the lack of feedback scored lower even after reverse coding. So this means that barriers still exist, including psychological deterrence, fear of gossip, and lack of feedback. When it comes to nurses' practice on patient safety culture, their culture is very high, which suggests that nurses is committed for the safety of their patients. In the correlation, shows a moderate and statistically significant positive correlation between nurses' practices on patient safety culture and both their perception on incident reporting and attitude towards incident reporting, which is they perceive incident reporting and attitude leads to a stronger safety practices. Better safety culture improves perception of attitudes. When it comes to comparative, which in the correlation, this means that as nurses' perceptions and attitude improve, their actual safety practices are also strengthened, indicating a direct and meaningful relationship between how nurses think and feel about incident report and how they act on their clinical settings. And the comparative analysis, private hospital nurses have significantly higher perception, attitude, and practices on safety culture than the local government hospital, particularly higher in critical care units and wards, but there are no significant differences between in the emergency rooms and other special areas. Furthermore, in connection with the demographics of the respondents, nurses with longer clinical experience, permanent employment statuses, assignments in specialized units reported more favorable attitudes and perceptions on incident reporting. In conclusion, nurses value incident reporting, but they still faced barriers in incident reporting. Safety cultures is strong within the private and public hospitals. And private hospitals, however, show stronger systems. And training is still needed and needs to be improved. We have recommendation on these. Hospitals should build a non-punitive, transparent reporting culture. Those nurses leaders should provide a constructive feedback and visible follow-up. The nurses learn to treat reporting as integral to patient safety, and in the academia, which I am, in the school, incident reporting should be integrated in simulations into the curricula. And the policy hospitals can adopt digital reporting systems and supported reforms. So it says here, a culture that listens without blame is a culture that learns, improves, and saves lives. And this study, let's create, I hope, to those in the hospital, a better culture and system of incident reporting. Good afternoon.
Okay, thank you very much. A very nice presentation. I have one question for you. Just one question. It's very nice outcome. I can see that, especially you compare between private and government, right? Between the perceptions and also the attitude of the nurses. So, what, from your opinion, what remains unclear about this, relationship between the perceptions, attitudes, and practice among nurses?
I think the systems, they need to compare the systems and how the nurses in the private and the public hospitals are trained toward incident reporting.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so I would like to call the next presenter. LVA Parler, are you here? With the topic Inside the Heart of an ICU Nurse, Emotional Resilience and Means Patient Loss. Please welcome.
Good afternoon. Okay, in the quiet corridors of life and death, ICU nurses stand at the frontliners of human vulnerability. This is a study of inside the heart of an ICU nurse, emotional resilience amidst patient loss. ICU nurse is a clinical space where nurses confront repeated life-threatening events and patients' death, exposing them to profound emotional and psychological strain. Our objectives is to explore how ICU nurses emotionally cope with patients' loss and work challenges, and to examine how resilience develops through experience, support, and adaptive behaviors. We use the Husserlian approach, which is descriptive. The study exclusively took place in two tertiary hospitals in Iligan City, Philippines, through semi-structured questionnaires and provided open-ended questions, which data gathered were analyzed, guided by Colysis' descriptive phenomenological method, a 7-step method. Now for our discussion on the theme 1, navigating loss, nurses show how close identification with patients and families intensifies this load, as they absorb relatives' grief while hiding their own sorrow behind a professional facade. And emotional response emerged to nurses with repeated losses turn into grief or self-blame and intense guilt. While adaptive tactics appears, 3 nurses deliberately use social behavioral coping to divert the stress through keeping busy and emotional redirection. For discussion on themes 2 beyond loss, nurses' resilience rests on individual strength but also on teamwork that reduces stress. Encountered adversity, the relentless strain from heavy workloads and patients' gradual decline, with 4 nurses describing exhaustion and burnout that prompt reliance on coping strategies and keep caring. Endurance cultivation for nurses, gradually developing emotional and physical resilience through repeated ICU exposure. 3 nurses normalizes demands, reframe painful events as learning opportunities, and practice small acts of self-care while accepting emotional pain as part of work. And to conclude, ICU nurses rely on diverse strategies shaped by personal loss, professional detachment, to stay steady in high-pressure environments. Resilience means feeling deeply yet still functioning effectively, allowing them to move through loss, keep caring, and find meaning in life and death. This underscores the need to intentionally support nurses, the nurses' emotional well-being, so they remain both highly skilled and genuinely cared for. As a recommendation for the study is for the researchers to dig beyond just ICU area, about examining resilience and patient loss in the hospitals across diverse hospital units, clarifying how unit culture, experience, and career shape resilience, burnout, and even stigma around emotion. Prioritize peer support, structured self-care, and targeted training on resilience and emotional labor. Together, these efforts can be better safeguard nurses' mental health and sustain compassionate, ethical, godly care for the society. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very good presentation. And You have 2 minutes extra, right? I open the floor for the other presenter if you have any questions. Any question? No questions?
Right. I was asked to ask, even if I don't wish to ask, for reasons that you still have 2 minutes. But maybe anyone from the participants, in terms of field of expertise like ICU, because it is something to do with ICU. Do you have any idea? And if you have understood or there are clarifications you want to make? Anyone? All right. So with that, I think it's time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
There is a question. Sorry.
Okay, I wanted to ask regarding the palliative care. Yeah. So the palliative care is at the at the end stage of the life of the patient. So from your experience, I believe that you have very huge experience, and from your opinion, how do you deal with this? The emotional resilience of this palliative care patient, and also to differentiate. To give stable resilience, emotional resilience, but you are also at the same time burnt out, fatigues. So how you overcome this? How to justify yourself that you need to give, support emotionally to the patients and also patient's family?
Okay, as nurses, we are taught to be holistic in our approach. If our medical and nursing expertise fail, then we go to the spiritual aspect of letting our patient ask forgiveness from God or their creator, and that's one way of giving holistic approach. But we are going to give our best support on the medical field or nursing field expertise. But then, as I have said, if the patient has come to almost to an end, so it's better to go to the spiritual aspect of the patient, and that is very important because human as we are going to face our creator in the other part of the world, and then we are going to be judged if whatever religion we have, and then it's very important that we are ushered back to heaven. If that's the case, I will pray for my patient, and I respect every religion. If it's Allah, if it's Hinduism or Catholic or Christian, I respect it, and I really taught my students also to give that palliative care, not just on the physical and the medical, but the spiritual as holistic approach. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It seems to me that you are a very excellent nurse. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. 2 presenters are already able to finish. Then we move on to the next. We can move to number 7. The presenter is Farjana Kanom, together with Asita Elengo, with a study entitled Integrative Meta-Analysis and Open Framework for Studying Gut Microbiome Dynamics in Finfish Aquaculture Systems. You're given 5 minutes for your presentation, then follows the question or clarification for 2 minutes.
Good afternoon, everyone, my respectable chairpersons and our participants. Here, welcome to 8th International Conference on Healthcare and Allied Science 2025. This is Farjana Khanum from Lincoln University and College. Now at this moment I am presenting my paper topic is Integrative Metagenomic Analysis and Open Framework for Studying Gut Microbiome Dynamics in Finfish Aquaculture System. Here is the work overview which I done here. This is the secondary data working system Prisma flowchart, and here meta-analysis has been done with 53 studies, and I found gut microbiome from these 53 studies, and here I harmonized the metadata combining taxonomic, functional, growth related outcomes, through which I prepare an open framework which ultimately related to the growth, health and antibiotic resistance. The background is aquaculture is now most related to our health because it fulfill our protein demands mostly 40% about through fishes. That's why the fishes has great pressure to produce more fishes with less space, less water and less chemical. And the microbiome ultimately enhance the growth, improvement and health of fishes. Yeah. If the imbalance of microbiome, the fish growth become hazard. This study I try to compare from 16S RNA through profiling the gut microbiome taxonomy, and shotgun metagenomics also helps their taxonomic and functional profiling, which ultimately found from different aquaculture systems. Here the problem gap and knowledge which has been found previously, the data has been fragmented, not given proper knowledge about everything, and the data not integrative review about this. That's why the farmer have not clear knowledge about what works where, and especially the recirculatory aquaculture system, bioflow, pond and cases. Here the aim is to contribute the aquaculture system gut microbiome, and which ultimately help the growth and health of the fishes, to compare their metagenomic analysis and create an open framework. The research question I put there, 3 research questions have been found. The first one is how this microbiome system influenced by the aquaculture system. The second one is the comparison of microbial taxa and functional pathway which enriched and depleted in the system. And the third one is how this microbiome ultimately contribute the growth performance and food conversion ratio of fishes. Here I follow the Prisma flowchart in the aquaculture system among fishes. I saw this. Here is the Prisma flowchart where the identifying, screening, eligibility and inclusion, everything has been followed, and finally I gave the 53 result. This is the 53 meta-analysis where I state the key variable here, the species, life stage, system type, some microbiomes, taxonomic composition, diversity composition, outcomes which has been found. Here is the two group A and group B, which is the control condition is recirculatory aquaculture system and bioflow aquaculture system, and group B is the pond and cages which become open water. There is no control environment. And this is the main analysis here has been done, that comparing the diversity, enriched taxa, growth outcomes and antibiotic resistant genes here. Ultimately, I found this the result with descriptive summary, which is the 16S RNA, how much I found from this 53 studies, 43 shotgun, founding 6, both founding only 1, and others some founding which is unclear. Mainly here, freshwater and marine water, both fishes are included, also mentioned there. The second one result is the, I stole the diversity here. Here's the comparative metagenomic analysis have been identified the heat maps that has been showed Group A, that means the recirculatory aquaculture system and bioflow provide more proteobacteria as this is the control environment. But the natural environment shows firmicutes, bacteroidetes, bacteria. But the cyanobacteria is both groups are same. The ecological integration is also the same. The proteobacteria become engineered condition more, but the natural condition, the firmicute, fuchsiobacteria, bacteroidetes, that's become more high condition here. And there is the enriched taxa across the both system. We have been found the group A, that means our controlled environment, which have nitrifier, lactic acid, short chain fatty acid producing bacteria become more enriched there. But in the group B, which is the open water system, there has been heterotrophs, fermenters, some types of pathogenic bacteria have been found, which ultimately sometimes helps the fish growth or sometimes disaster. The antibiotic resistance has been found. My secondary data, almost less amount data has been found. But this data shows that the controlled environment eventually shows slightly higher antibiotic resistance because here is probiotic antibiotic, that's why. And the growth outcomes here shows that the growth ultimately helps when the diversity becomes low, the food conversion ratios becomes low, and the food conversion ratio ultimately help the growth of fishes.
Excuse me. Can you wrap up your presentation?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're done?
Yeah, I'm almost done.
Okay. Wrap up, please.
Yeah.
It's done.
Have you any question?
Oh yeah,
Actually, this
good. Yeah. Actually, that's my concern. You did. Which methodology have you done in this paper?
Here I in comparative meta-analysis.
Comparative
meta-analysis.
meta-analysis.
Yes, and there is the Pisma follow chart which I follow
Alright.
to get the data. And after Pisma flow diagram, I found the 53 meta-dataset here,
Right.
which ultimately I work.
Yeah, because you mentioned that you have not considered control as a variable in your. I'm not really sure if you have done
here is
inclusion
two
and exclusion criteria.
variable means which I work, and the control, the two system I have. The controlled system is the recirculatory and bioflow. This is the control, which I control, but the treatment is normally. Yeah, normally this is the pond water and case water.
That's why you found out that the use of antibiotic
Yeah.
was actually effective.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the microbiome.
Yes, thank you very much. Maybe my colleague has a question. All right, thank you very much. Round of applause, please.
The next presenter, I would like to call Riris Andriati, Rita Dwi Prativi, and Fenita Purnama Sari Indah, with the research title Smart Tumbler, where as a nursing strategy in electrolyte management education for hemodialysis patient, its impact on knowledge, attitudes, motivations, and self-efficacy. Please welcome.
ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the chance. In this chance, I want to present about my article of the research. The title Smart Tumbleware as a Nursing Strategy in Electrolyte Management Educations for Hemodialysis Patients, its impact on knowledge, attitudes, motivation, and self-efficacy. We know that the chronic kidney disease refers to kidney damage characterized by a glomerular filtration rate of less than 60 milliliter, and chronic kidney disease may lead to a progressive decline in kidney functions with or without a reduction in GFR. More than 500 million people globally are affected by kidney failure, and 1.5 million undergoing hemodialysis. In Indonesia, prevalence of CKD is 0.38% and 60% of patients require hemodialysis. And one of the main challenges of hemodialysis patients is managing their daily fluid intake appropriately, and non-compliance with fluid control can lead to serious complications such as edema, hypertension, and increased mortality. The objective of the research is to develop and test the effectiveness of smart tumbleware nursing strategy and electrolyte management educations for hemodialysis patients. It's to support its impact on knowledge, attitude, motivation, and self-efficacy in giving tumbleware technology-based tool design daily fluid control for hemodialysis patients. And the research consists of 5 stages. For the first, the research designs employed in this study is a traditional or narrative review, and then the second steps, product development, feasibility testing, and then product trials, and the last, analysis of difference in knowledge, attitudes, motivation, and self-efficacy before and after the product is administered to hemodialysis patients. Okay, and the traditional review research, in the contrast, smart tumbleware successfully integrated all 3 aspects into one device. There are audible alarms and real-time fluid visualization into a single device, also educational features. And there are the product development. The tumbler is designed with a smooth matte outer surface, so the tumbler making it comfortable to hold, and the speaker that allows direct audio playback from the tumbler. And the lid feature is a simple design that can be opened easily with one hand, and the liquid is equipped with the ultrasonic sensor capable of accurately detecting the water volume inside in the tumbler. For the product development, there are the alarm display allows user to set drink reminder times via the OLED screen, and also on this screen notifies the user when the tumbler is empty, and set alarm to schedule drink reminders to the patients, and this reminder screen clearly prompts the user to drink in the tumbler, in the top of the tumbler. And then product development and product trials, and based on the table 1, results of the difference the test between pre-test and post-test knowledge show that the before pre-test the majority of respondents 70% in the sufficient knowledge, and after pre-test 100% have good knowledge. And for based on table 2, before pre-test the respondent 53.3% have sufficient attitude. After pre-test then 63.3% have sufficient attitude. And based on table 3, before pre-test 50% respondent have fair motivation. After pre-test 70% have good motivations. And based on table 4, before pre-test respondent have 70% self-efficacy, high self-efficacy, and after pre-test 86.7% have high self-efficacy, and all the best on table 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 have p-value 0.000. So significant, there are significant intervention to the motivations, knowledge, attitude, also self-efficacy. And from the discussions, so repeated hemodialysis treatment requires strong self-belief and resilience supported by family encouragement, and giving tumbleware using the smart tumbleware significantly improve the knowledge, attitude, motivation, and self-efficacy of hemodialysis patients. And from a nursing perspective, smart tumbleware can be integrated into nursing interventions aimed at promoting self-care, improving adherence, reducing complications related to fluid overload, nurse can utilize this tool as a part of patient education, monitoring and counseling strategies, while also collaborating with families to ensure continuity. For the conclusions, analysis of patient outcomes shown that giving Tumbleware intervention using the smart Tumbleware significantly improve knowledge, attitude, motivation, and self-efficacy. And this is my team. Oh, cannot open the video. Okay. We also have a posters for educations combined with the nursing smart Tumbleware. And this is a research grant from the international government in Indonesia. Like that. Thank you. Thank you. Maybe any question?
No. Yeah. The question, our query is,
And
there are also two hands. Hold on. We are interested if to know.
Kami bertiga ini adalah melakukan hasil riset unggulan yang ada di situs media dari Malaysia. Salah satunya adalah Tumbleware Smart, yang dimana fungsinya adalah di kebutuhan manusia dalam kurun waktu 1 hari, karena tubuh ini sangat potensi berisi cairan. Jadi Tumbleware ini adalah salah satu peminat kita untuk kebutuhan cairan dalam tubuh, dan terkhusus pada pasien-pasien dengan gangguan gagal ginjal atau CKD dan yang mengalami hemodialisa harus dilakukan tindakan, maka kebutuhan cairan harus terkontrol dengan baik. Untuk itu, badan cairan menurut kami itu sangat diperhatikan karena murni kualitas daripada panjangnya usia hidup manusia. Terima kasih. Insya Allah Tumbleware ini sangat maksimal dan potensi digunakan oleh seluruh masyarakat. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
If you can quickly translate the overall claims of your colleague,
yes.
can you translate
Oh,
what
yes.
she was telling us? For sure, it talks about the benefit, correct?
Oh, yes, the benefit
Like
is
how it
the,
works.
smart Tumbleware.
Phone, please use the microphone.
Okay, this smart Tumbleware. This is we developed the Tumbleware for control the fluid intake to the hemodialysis patients, because the hemodialysis patients we have to limit for the fluid intake. Yes, undergoing hemodialysis. So the Tumbleware, this is control about the water intake of the patients, and if we put the water inside of the Tumbleware, if the water is empty, so reminding for us that about the, because there are inside sensor, also alarm, also combined with the educations by poster or by booklet like that. So we give educations, 3 aspect educations, and then fluid intake alarm reminding about the fluid intake like that.
Yeah. Have you, if I may continue, have you done patent search for this?
For patent still not, but we have a property right certificates
Okay.
from the Directorate of the Property Law and from the Ministry of
So
the...
it's registered already?
Already we get two certificate of property right.
Good. It's because I'm also not very much concerned about the NDE, because supposed to be you're not to present this unless it has been registered and it has been copyrighted for your protection.
Yes.
Right. My intent is that, as always for innovation, I so believe that you must have done
Yes.
patent search first, because that will be the basis by which you're gonna be introducing something new.
Yes.
Right. And thank you very much for highlighting that there are a lot of features that will remind the nurse and the patient in terms of when is about time to take fluid and how much. 2 hands, please. There are 2 questions, please.
Questions?
You're allowed. Okay, hurry up. Grab the microphone.
Yes. Okay. Because we just product 5 tumbler, because this is needs some more time to make a product like this, because sometimes like the battery alarm inside we have to test for the feasibility. So for one patient we need the patient take the bottle tumblerware for 2 weeks for trying. So this is just the sample still 30 respondents, because my tumblerware is just 5. Because for one tumblerware this is expensive. So I think
My question is, I wanted to ask about the cost.
yes.
The costing for the tumbler.
One tumbler in Indonesia 1,500,000
So if you convert to USD,
USD.
$100.
Yes, yes, like that. So pre-test, then after intervention 2 weeks post-test, like that.
So one more question.
Yes.
Any question?
One last questions.
You have changed your mind.
How to make a product of your tablet by your time or unit on the support of IT and electrical engineer.
Yes. Because my teams are from nursing and public health teams, so I need support from the IT or also engineer of electrical, because the inside of the tumbler there are alarm, sensor, LED like that. So we just give idea and for the creates by the IT engineer like that.
Thank you very much and congratulations. Now we're moving on to the presentation of E. Theomar Lina. Let us study the effect of module-based counseling on maternal readiness for childbirth. You're given 5 minutes for presentation and 2 minutes for Q&A session.